It's just so crazy. Our days are flying. It is Tuesday, February 11th, if that is something you like to keep track of. So for your do now activity today, I had you all look through this worksheet packet. There are lots of problems, 24 it looks like total. And there's also an answer key, okay? I gave you an answer key so you can check your answers. Because this isn't for a grade, but it is amazing practice. So I want to ask you guys, as you were going through these problems, which ones did you feel like were very easy? You got it. You felt confident about them. And which ones did you feel were not so easy or you didn't even know how to start them? I'll take either type. Yes, Latasha.
What you just said.
What I just said. Didn't know where to start, and that's okay. This is kind of new. This is stuff that we haven't looked a ton at. Let me ask about the confidence first. Of these problems, if we could go through, give me some of the numbers that you felt good about.
1, 2, 3, and 4.
Okay, 1, 2, 3, and 4. So I'm going to mark those with green, and I'm just going to double check and make sure we're all on the same page. On these problems, 1, 2, 3, and 4, we're solving for a missing angle in a triangle. Now, quickly, somebody tell me, what is the sum of the interior angles in a triangle always? 180 degrees. So I know in a triangle, A plus B plus C, where A, B, and C are just names we're giving our angles, is always equal to 180, always. So in numbers 1 through 4, we're really just going to be following that simple formula always. You can choose any of the angles to be your A, B, or C. So let's look at number 1, for example. Zoom in on that a little, or recenter. Let's say I make 65 degrees, angle A. I make 57 degrees, angle B. And I make my question mark, angle C. How could I solve for my missing angle?
Plug A and B into your equation.
Yeah, we're just going to plug in the values that we do know. A is 65, B is 57. So instead of A plus B plus C, we'll write 65 plus 57 plus C, good, equals 180. And once we have our equation written out, and oftentimes I find this is the toughest part, just remembering and figuring out what should my equation look like. If you've got this, you're in great shape. What do we do from here?
Combine like terms.
We want to combine our like terms. Which of our terms are like?
65 and 57.
Yes, 65 and 57. There's no variables on them, so we can put them together. What happens when I add these together?
122.
122. Okay, and what happens next?
Plus C equals 180.
Yes, let's bring everything down. Plus C equals 180. And then what? Yeah, we're going to subtract 122 from both sides of our equation. These will cancel out, and we get C equals what?
58.
58 degrees. So here is a quick rundown of how we would do number 1. Our missing angle is 58 degrees. You can always check your answer. Does anybody know how I can check to see if that's right?
Add them all up.
Yeah, just add all of these 3 angles together. 58 plus 65 plus 57 should get you back to 180. If it doesn't, you might have made a little mistake in there, but it should. Okay. So numbers 1 through 4 are all like that. Now number 2 is a little special. What's weird about number 2?
Got a 90 degree.
So good eye. Remember, that does not go away. Whenever we have that little box in any of our angles, it means that it's 90 degrees. So we would just use 90 for one of our values. 40 plus 90 plus something equals 180. Okay. Does anybody feel that they would like me to run through any more from 1 to 4? Or do we feel okay about these? I think these are very similar to last unit when we were solving for supplementary angles, angles that add up to 180. They're just arranged differently now. So we should feel pretty confident about this at this point. So let's go ahead and move on to 5 through 8. Well, these are some things that I may have never specifically introduced to you. However, all of the concepts, all of the ideas happening in these problems, we have talked about at one point or another, just not specifically. So let me ask y'all, in numbers 5 through 8, how do we feel? A giggle. Okay.
Do you want me to lie to you?
No, give me the truth, girl.
Girl.
You didn't like them?
Yes.
Secret.
I wasn't paying full attention to like how it looked, but the numbers, but I did the same thing that we were doing like 1 through 4.
With 1 through 4. So like for number 5, did you maybe do 137 plus 102 plus C equals 180?
Yeah, that's what I was doing.
Gotcha. Okay. Michael, yes.
So, what I did was that those numbers are on the outside.
Yes. Yes. What are those outside numbers called?
Perimeter.
Not perimeter yet. We will get to perimeter eventually, but we're not there yet. It's a type of angle. Remember, the sum of the interior angles is 180. What are these other ones?
Symmetry.
Symmetry.
Yeah, how do you?
Supplementary.
Thank you. That's
Yes.
the word I was looking for.
Supplementary. We are going to have some supplementary
And they're
angles. They will
180.
add to 180. Now, I wonder if anyone knows what word I'm trying to think of. They're not like 102. This is an interior angle.
Oh,
Exterior. When we have angles outside of the triangle, we call these exterior angles, okay? So I'm going to zoom in real close on number 5, and we're going to go over some of these today. Let's see. I'm going to do it like this so I don't have to smush my hand under the camera. So, on number 5, let's see. They want us to solve for this angle here with the question mark. But can I solve for that angle yet? Do I have anything that would get me to this angle?
No.
No. So here's what we do. Whenever we don't have an angle right next to it, adjacent to it, that can help us solve, that means we need to find something else first, okay? If I can't find my question mark right away, let's see what we can find. Can I find any other angles?
On the other, one opposite to 102.
Opposite of 102, are you talking about this one?
That would be D. If you were doing
Yeah. Okay, so here, let's give our angles some names. Michael, it sounds like you had some labels on there already. Tell me what letters you gave your angles.
I put 102 is A.
This is A.
Put the what would that one be?
137.
Yeah.
Let's see. Did you call it B?
No, I did all my A,
Oh.
B, C, or my interior.
Okay, so your B, did you do the one to the right or on top?
I did C, the one to the right.
Okay, so this was your B,
He's on the inside, yeah.
and then your C was over here. So I'm just gonna label all of these so that we can see what's going on. A, B, C, and then which one did you choose for D?
The one, right next to A, the side of.
137 or question mark? For D, as in dog.
Well, I labeled the exterior angle of whatever A was, that outside of A, I labeled out.
Oh, you mean like out here?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. That works. This will be D. Cool.
Yeah.
Okay, thinking outside the box a little. Did you give 137 and your question mark a name?
Well, I labeled it exactly like we had we were doing last night. So
okay.
I labeled that one on the question mark. I labeled that one E.
Okay, so this one was E.
Yeah.
Okay, so I see what you did. Let me pause this while I grab my notes from yesterday and I'm gonna compare so everybody knows what we're talking about. So here is what Michael, I believe, is referring to,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Ah, I see. So we have the interior angles I showed you yesterday, and then I showed you some exterior angles. What I failed to mention in this picture is that these are not the only exterior angles that exist. I only showed you two. Let me give you a fuller picture. I want to put this to the side. Let's pull out our notes and pause from the worksheet. Let's get this in our notes because it is important.
You think?
It is, girl.
Seriously?
So we're going to label, or I'm going to label, geometry. Unit 2. Sure, that's still going. This is our day 17 note. Here. And I am going to title this page Interior versus Exterior. And I will pause while everyone gets their notes ready. I am going to zoom out and we're going to draw kind of a crazy picture. I'm going to start almost all the way down my page, more like 2/3 of the way down. And I am going to draw a line that is 6 inches long. So I just made a 6-inch line along the bottom third of the page like this. And what I'm going to do from there is on that line, I'm going to mark, I don't know, yours doesn't have to be precisely like mine, but if you want it to be, I'm going to give you some measurements. So about 1.5 inches in, I'm going to make a little mark on both sides. So I'm going 1.5 inches in here, and I'm going to go from 6 to 5 to 4.5 right there. So we're going to start with a little line like that. Now,
Our little tick marks.
yes. And then I am going to move my ruler and I'm going to make my tick mark touch about 1.5-ish on my ruler. And this doesn't have to be perfect because I guess I didn't give myself enough room to draw another 6-inch line, but I'm going to draw another line close-ish. I got to about 5 3/4 there. And then I'm going to do another line like this. Basically, we want a triangle with little incomplete triangles coming out of its edges, its little points. The vertices. We remember that?
Yeah, that I remember.
Yes, vertices. Okay, so here is our picture. And on our picture of our triangle, we are going to start, let's see, with A, B, and C. It doesn't matter if it's in the exact same order. These are interchangeable, but I'm going to say that A, B, and C are my angles inside of my triangle. Okay. These don't necessarily have to be equal to each other. I'm just going to draw these little arcs to kind of separate them. Okay. So A, B, and C are my interior angles. So we learned that if I add all the interior angles of a triangle together, I get how many degrees?
180.
180. So within my triangle, I'm going to write A plus B plus C equals 180 degrees. These are my interior angles. They're on the inside, interior. Now we're going to redraw the exterior angles that I introduced yesterday, but we're going to add a whole bunch more. Just so you know they exist. Just so you know they exist. I just want to have them available for you to see. So yesterday we then talked about after A, B, and C, I said, well, let's say this is D. And let's say this is E. You remember seeing those? There's even more. See, there's D, there's E. There is, oh my gosh, there's not even going to be a great way to put all these together. D, E, let's call this one F. To the right of B. Let's call this one G, vertical from F. Okay, so we have A, B, C on the inside. Bit of a wonky order, just kind of following yesterday's. We did D next to A, we did E next to C, we did F to the right of B, G to the left of B. Does everyone have these so far? Okay, so A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Let's do H under D and A. Let's do I under C and E. Do we recognize any other angles?
H and I and E.
Between D and A, between I and E, between G and F. There's 3 more. So I'm going to use one more color here. Use purple. So we just finished on I. Let's call this one with E and I J. We'll call the one at the tippy top K. Call the last one between D and A. We'll call that L. Now, knowing there are all of these different exterior angles, there's a lot. Let's see, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, we've got 9 different exterior angles. There's so many that it would almost be silly to list out all of the different equations. Instead, let's make sure that we can look at this and reason and understand why we're getting the equations, where they're coming from, how we can look at this visually and see that makes sense. That should be 180. That makes sense. Those are equal to each other. Let's make sure we understand that. So oops, I thought that was off. Here's my picture. Let's start with A. Do I have any angles that are equal to A?
L.
L. Why are these equal? They're vertical. When we have angles right across from each other, those are vertical angles. They're equal. So for funsies, I could write A equals L. I'm not going to ask you to list them all out, but honestly, let's do it for fun. If you don't want to, you don't have to. I'm going to write it over here. A and L. What is the equation all right?
A plus L.
A plus L.
Equals 180.
Do I know if they add up to 180? I don't know. I don't know what their measures are. What do I know about the relationship between A and L? You just said it. They're vertical, which means they are identical or equal. Equal. They're equal. So what is the equation? A is what to L?
Equal.
Equal. That's it. I think when I say equation, we think we need to have a plus and a minus in there, but sometimes the equation is just a letter equals a letter.
I like that.
Yeah. So A is equal to L. How about B? What is it equal to?
J.
B is equal to which one? I heard
K.
two. K,
A.
because they're vertical. How about C? What is it equal to?
J.
Right. J. Good, because they're vertical. Perfect. Okay, so we have 3 sets of vertical angles using our interior and the vertical exterior angles. Okay. Now let me ask you this. Are there any other pairs or sets of vertical angles that are equal to each other? The
E
red.
equals H.
All of these red ones. D equals H. So A, B, C, D, and H. What else?
E equals I.
E and I. They're equal. What else?
G and F.
G and F. All right, F for just because we're going in letter order. But it's the same. F is G.
Bye.
Bye, Kelly. Have a good day. Okay, so that's already 6 sets of angles that are equal to each other. Wow, that's a lot. And these are all vertical angles. But right across from each other. Any other sets of vertical angles, or do you think we covered it all?
I think we're good.
I think we're good too. I didn't notice any others, but if someone discovers others that I missed, let me know. So that's a bunch of vertical angles. Do we notice any other types of relationships happening between any of these angles?
D and A equal 180.
Yes, D and A equal 180. So what is that called when 2 angles add up to 180? We said it earlier, starts with an S. Yep. Supplementary. Supplementary. So now we can make a list of supplementary angles. Why not? A plus D equals 180. Can I add A to anything else to get 180?
C and D.
Let's start with A. Let's stick with A before we go to the next one. Can I add A plus D? Can I do A plus anything else? H. Yes.
A plus H. And we also could see over here, if A plus D equals 180 and D is equal to H, that means I can swap them out. I can do A plus H as well. Okay, so both of those are equal to 180. We could also just see visually A and D make a straight line. A and H make a straight line. That's 180 degrees, guys. Are there any other, I know it is kind of cool when you start to see the relationships. It's really neat. Somebody came up with all this. It's crazy.
You know,
D and L, is that what you said?
yeah.
D, where is D? D and L. I didn't even notice that one. D and L. Yes. Let's see, B. I'm going to write it lower because I'm going to try to put it in order. D plus L equals 180. That's right. These are on a straight line. Put a B. Angle B at the very top of my triangle. What can I add B with to make 180?
Well, B and G.
B and G? Yes. Yes, yes, yes. Can I do anything else with B?
B and F.
B and F. Good. And just like how D and H are equal, G and F must also be equal if I can add them to the same thing to get 180. And, you know, sure enough, we already said that. F is equal to G. Lots of things happening here. Okay, so we've got 2 for B. How about C?
D and E.
C and E, yes. C and what else?
I.
I. C and I can make 180. Okay. So then we finished our C's. We started on D. We did D plus L equals 180. Can I add D to anything else to make 180?
J.
I can. D plus A is 180. And sure enough, we've already got that one at the top. So I think that's all of them for D. How about E?
E plus J.
E, yeah. I can do E plus J. That's a straight line. That makes 180. This is crazy, guys. Who would have thought there'd be so many? What's fun is we didn't even touch this last term in geometry. You guys are just awesome. I love that you guys are at this level of intelligence and almost, I want to say curiosity about math, you know, where I can show you these things and you find them cool. And I like that. We're sponges. I get to kind of nerd out with y'all. It's fun for me. Okay, so E and J is 180. What's the other one with E?
E and C.
E and C. And sure enough, we've already listed that one. So we're good on E. How about F? F and K. Yes. F and K equals 180. Anything else with F? We already did F and B. It's already down here. So we don't need to write it again. Okay. Oh my gosh. I mean, we could do this for forever. There's so many. Do you guys get the idea? I'd hate to waste more class time. We could create so many more equations with this. The most important thing to recognize here is when are the angles equal to each other versus when do they add up to 180? So
do any of you feel like you could explain that in sort of simple terms? Like, how could you tell that any of these pairs add up to 180?
Okay, first, A, B, and C, we know, because that's the interior.
Yes, A plus
Okay.
B plus C, we know because we discovered that when we cut the triangle up and stuck the angles together.
And the rest is because they're that word that I have trouble with. The
Supplementary.
Yes,
Yes.
the straight angles.
Yes. So basically what's happening is, like, for example, in A plus D, I'm going to find A and D. Here's A, here's D. Notice how they form a straight line, a half circle. If we were to look at one of these guys, notice how they go from 0 to 180 and it's a half circle. Okay, that's what's happening here. It's a half circle. 180. Okay, I could go on for a very long time about this, and I have to stop myself because we need to look at that little worksheet. Does this help? Does this connect some of those endings in your brains?
Yes, and I
Okay,
but
good.
I erased it, but I actually did it 5, I think correctly, but I did it in a different way. But
Okay.
I added. I knew this was going to be 180,
Well, let's see.
so I know what answer I came up with.
So yes, now that we've seen all of these angles, oh my gosh, so let's look at number 5 again. I set up some. Do we really need angle D that we labeled? Oops. Okay, that's a little too close. Sorry. Believe it or not, I didn't even. I just used the 3 labels. A, B, and C. I know they were exterior, but that I just did it that way because I already knew that the interior was 180.
Yes.
So I subtracted 180 from the 102.
Okay, so you did 180
Yeah.
minus 102.
Yes, and then
I
I
knew the straight lines were 180. Okay.
D also.
So let's look at this from the very beginning. We have angle A is 102.
We don't know B, we don't know C. Can I know A plus B plus C is 180. Let me write that out first.
Okay. If I only know A and I don't know B and C, can I just do 180 minus 102 and will that give me B and C?
Well, you remember
If they're equal to each other, and we don't know if they're equal. Yeah, I don't know. So I love the idea that you went there, but
We don't have enough information to do that yet. So we got to pick a different way. I can't solve for C yet. I can't solve for this. Is there anything I can solve for?
D.
D? I can. Is D gonna help me solve E that I need?
no.
You could solve it for fun. What would it be?
I got 78 degrees.
78 degrees, that is right. You did 180 minus 102.
Yeah.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
See, I did that.
Okay, so we know angle D.
I was here for James. Nancy Hunt's here for you.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so we know that angle D is 78. But remember, our goal is we're really trying to find angle E. That's the one with the question mark. So now I know angle D. Now what? Does that help us?
You can subtract 137 from 180.
Subtract 137 from 180. Ooh, and what's that gonna give us?
That's gonna give us 43 degrees.
For B,
isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's solve for B. I know that whatever this is,
let's call this, I don't know, F. So it's got a name. I know F plus B equals 180, right? Because they form a straight line. So I'm gonna write that F plus B equals 180. And I know F is 137. But I don't know B. Okay, so now I have 137 plus B equals 180. What should I do next? Perfect, subtract 137 both sides. And we get B equals, you said 43? Perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect. So I have B now. Okay, so now I have A, I have B, I have D, I have F. I still need E. Can I solve for E yet?
You can solve for C, you got E.
Yes, I can solve for C now because I have A and B. So let's do that. Okay, let's see. A is 102. B is 43. And C we're going to find. That's our equation. 102 plus 43 plus C equals 180. I probably should have wrote that out to the side, but. What's 102 plus 43?
45.
145 plus C equals 180. And then what?
Subtract 145 from both sides.
Yes, subtract 145 both sides. And I get C equals.
35 days.
Okay, so C is 35. Can I finally solve for E?
Yes.
Yes. What equation can I write to solve for E now?
180 minus 35.
Yes. I know 35 plus E gives us 180, so I could just do 180 minus 35 equals E.
45 degrees.
That's our missing angle, 145. Wow, that's a lot. A lot of steps. A lot of steps. Now, this looks crazy. This looks messy. Let's take this idea of what we just did here and apply it to another one. We're going to start fresh. Okay.
Where did you get 145 at?
Did you say 145, Michael, or did I hear you wrong? 180 minus 35? Is it 145?
Yeah,
That's right.
Because you had 145 up there already.
Where?
You took C.
180 minus 145. So 145 was 102 plus 43, which was A plus B. What?
You already had 145.
I did. I guess it was a coincidence. So I was like, wait a minute, I already came up. Okay. Never mind. I was just kidding. That's okay. All right. Let's look at number 7. I think this one's a little less scary. I want to find the question mark. I don't think I can find it yet. What can I do to get us closer to finding it?
If you go add the angles that are already listed,
Uh-huh.
and then subtract that from 180 to get the unmarked angle.
Yes, I know that the sum of my interior angles is 180. So 20 plus 30 plus whatever equals 180. So 20 plus 30 plus, we'll call it x, equals 180. Okay, 20 plus 30 is 50 plus x equals 180. Okay, we subtract 50. And we get x equals 30. Good. So now I have 130 right here. I found my last interior angle. Do I know this exterior angle? What is it?
30.
130. Why do you know that they're the same?
They're vertical.
Because they're vertical. They're right across from each other, so they're the same. Good. That one was a lot less stressful. the best way that I like to say you should think about solving these complicated kind of puzzle type problems is if I can't find the angle I need to find right now, what can I find? Let's just solve for everything until suddenly we have what we need. So sometimes these take a while, but they will make you such a stronger mathematician. You'll be so good at math, guys. Blow your mind. Okay. Let's see. You zoom out again because. Okay. Do you guys feel like you would be able to do number 6? Let's see. Pause the video. I'm gonna let you guys try to finish number 6 and 8 on your own. I want to give you guys a moment to try and do those. Now that we've done some of these together, we've looked at all the relationships. I think y'all can do it. I'm gonna pause it. We'll come back and look in about 5 minutes. Okay. Let's look at number 6. Who wants to tell me how they did it? Who thinks they got it? You think you got a chance? What'd you do?
So I found there's 35. We know that the interior angle is going to be its vertical path, but it's also 35 inside.
Then
Yeah, 100 plus 35, and then you just subtract that from 180.
that is perfect. So chance.
I'm gonna do it the long way real quick. Basically, he knew that these 3 angles are equal to 180. So 100 plus 35, we can do that in our heads. That's 135 plus the missing angle, we'll call it X. So you subtracted 135, and what did you get for X?
For the interior angle, because it's 45, and then I had to get the 180 subtract 45 from 180 for the X.
Perfect. So now I'm gonna call this one Y since I already used the X. Okay, so you knew 45 plus this exterior angle is 180, is that right?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay, so you did 180 minus 45. And what'd you get?
35.
135. Oh my gosh, guys, I'm discovering something right now, and I don't want to tell you if it's wrong, but I'm noticing a pattern. The last 2 problems we did, and I don't want to tell you this is a rule in case it's not, but I'm noticing that the sum of these 2 interior angles
Are equal to this exterior angle that's opposite of it. Y is 135 here. In this problem, let's see, which one was it? 102 plus 35, the opposite is 137.
Yeah.
102 plus 43, the opposite one is, where is it? E. What did we say this one was? Oh my gosh, I can't read my own work. Is it 140? Oh, no.
145.
145, yeah. Guys, I think that's a thing.
A has it too.
It has to be a thing.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're discovering shortcuts. That's cool. Okay, so knowing that the opposite sum of the interior angles equal that exterior angle, oh my gosh. There's even more equations we can write.
And Michael just said number 8 as well. 155 minus 60 gets you 95. That's the interior angle for the other one.
My gosh.
And the opposite is 85.
Oh my gosh, there's so many things we can do. Okay, so let's see, 155. And what did you say? Which one did you solve
I
for?
have 155 minus 60,
Mm-hmm.
and that's 95 for the interior angle, the other interior.
Oh, for this one?
Yeah, just to left it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
You just get 85 because it's complementary.
My mind is blown. Okay, so if you're like, what just happened? The pattern that we just discovered is these two interior angles, when you add them together, they equal whatever the exterior angle is that's adjacent to this missing angle here. So 155 equals 60 plus 95.
We could also say, well, now we can do, oh my gosh, this is crazy. Now we can do 95 plus what makes 180?
35.
Yes. Yeah, that's kind of cool. I wonder, I bet you that works for all of them. I bet it does. That's crazy. Wow. This is advanced stuff. This is kind of cool. So let me see. Anybody that did number 8, did you also get 85 for your missing angle? Okay, we're just discovering shortcuts. Lots of shortcuts. Am I going to expect you to have these memorized, and am I going to test you on things as difficult as this? Probably not. Probably not. Just because we don't have enough time in the term to get as advanced as I would love to. But oh my gosh, I wish we had like honors versions of the other classes. Like y'all could be in my honors geometry. That's awesome. Okay, we are seriously running out of time, guys. We're gonna have to continue this tomorrow. I'm gonna give you a baby exit ticket. It's a baby one. So here's what it will be. Want you guys this. So look at this third, it says 3 on the bottom of this page, page 3. If you already did this one, then awesome. Number 17. I only have interior angles. Okay, I don't need you to solve for the missing angle. I want you to do what it tells you to. I want you to solve for x. Okay, now we didn't do this today, but we have done it in the past. Do you guys remember how to set that up? Does anyone not remember and need a little run through? Okay, let's do a little run through. I'm going to do number 18 for you. 17 is just like it. 17 will be your exit ticket, but here's 18 just in case. So I am going to call these A, B, and C. What do I know about A, B, and C? What equation can I write?
55 plus 54 plus.
Oh, here, look at 18, because 17 is going to be our exit ticket. So that one
So
on your
A
own.
plus B plus
Sharon.
C equals 180.
Yes.
70 plus 60 plus 2 plus 8x equals 180.
Yes, 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 yes. So all we did, same thing we've been doing, A plus B plus C equals 180. And we're just plugging in the values, right? A is 70 plus B is 60 plus, here's the only thing different. C, instead of a number, we have 8x plus 2. So we're going to write, instead of C, 8x plus 2 equals 180. And before we go any further, is anyone not sure where we got all these numbers from on the second line here? And 60. And let's see. 2. Maybe the colors help a little. Does that help? Okay. So we just replaced A, B, and C with the values they gave us. So what would I do next once I have my equation written out? Combine like terms. Good. So what like terms do I have?
60 and 70.
60 and 70. Do I have any others?
2.
2.
Yep.
Plus 2. I can do that as well. So
132.
132, is that right? 7 plus 6, what is that? Yeah, you're right. 132. So 70 plus 60 plus 2 is 132. What needs to be brought down?
8x.
Plus
Good.
8x
Plus 8x
equals 180.
equals 180. Okay. Now what?
Try 132 from both sides.
Good. We're trying to get x by itself. So we're going to subtract first. I will cancel my 132s. And we'll bring down 8x equals 180 minus 132. Let's see. Is this right? Is it 48?
Yes.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Divide by 8.
And equals 6.
And x equals 6. Absolutely. X is 6. Good.
Okay, so there's your example. Is it coming back to you a little bit? Good, good. This is just like solving for missing angles. The angles are just stuck together into a shape now. It's the same thing we started with. So, same on number 17. This is your exit tickets. You don't have to do it on this worksheet if you'd rather have it on a separate paper. If you want to just do it on the worksheet, you can turn it in. I'm happy to solve it real quick myself, and that way, if you want to take this home with you, you can. But this is your exit ticket, and it is due on
Friday. You're just solving for x.
the end.